Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, I want to talk about a Gnosis movie, a very good one, that gets no love because of the way it was put together. Now, when it was released, The Last Dragon, which was produced by, who was that? I think it was a music producer, Barry Gordy. And this was a predominantly a black film, talking based in kind of a very comedy background, which is why it didn't get any respect. Which is really sad. But, it's very difficult if you want to really get into certain philosophies and to speak of deeper subjects. Then it's very difficult to do that straight. So blending this into a comic background is very effective, but people then don't take it seriously. But this is a fantastic film that goes into deep philosophy and really explains really unusual and different paths and what you have to do to reach a high level of most anything, and particularly martial arts. The soundtrack for this film with the Last Dragon song really sums up everything in life. And I'm not going to ruin it for you by going into it here. You can find the Last Dragon soundtrack right on YouTube that you can listen to free. The other song is called The Glow. This is when you reach a high level, getting out of yourself and removing the blockages in your life to reach a very high level to overcome the challenges you face. And this is actually what happened to our hero here, who was trying to save a particular person and was studying martial arts, and his hero was Bruce Lee. And he doubted himself, and he was unable to reach a certain higher level. And of course, the song really states it all, where you have to be dedicated to a particular path, etc. And as I said, I won't ruin it. Go ahead and go listen to that so that you can. I have this on my personal music player, both of these songs, and it's always a great uplifting and great tool for people who are trying to reach higher levels in life and using stronger. Well, what does it take? Well, everybody wants to make magic. They want to go out there and they just want to be empowered and they want to say a few magic words and do all these things. Well, life isn't like that. As the song says, it takes hard work. So all of this is something that none of us want to deal with. Can't we plug a computer into our head, take a pill, or shift into another dimension where we're going to be empowered? That's not the game. If that was able to be done, life in itself would have no value, just like the fact of having tools that are magic lamps. If everybody had a magic lamp, this world would be a hell plane, worse than it is even now, because everybody would be manifesting their lowest possible desires, like most of the basically martial arts people in general that are very low mentality. But the whole idea is you're going to have a nightmare going on, and then nothing would have any value. Oh, I'm going to manifest, $5 billion. Yeah, well, I'm going to manifest $10 billion. So the point is money would then have no value. So remember, when you get into these comic book understandings of manifestation, it doesn't work like that. And it can't work like that. So whatever you could do, if there was magic lamp technology, somebody else would better it, and that would mean it wouldn't be worth it. If everybody can win the lottery, do you think there'd be lotteries? If everybody had 100 pounds of gold, do you think gold would be valuable? Well, of course not. So this is the reality out there, and it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes you to go up to different levels. So you have to drop the actual disguises that this world gives you, the actual lies told you, and you have to get out of your own way, and then you can go up to higher levels. Now, this is what everything in life goes. This is what masters do, and of course, this is a part of real martial arts, not the punching and kicking that you get from the meathead, the meat puppets out there that think that that's all there is to martial arts, and that certainly nothing else is there. And of course, you're a meat puppet. Your brain is nothing more than a little battery, and that's it. This is the kind of idiot thinking that permeates society and has created this low-level reality that we live in. Because nobody's really trying to achieve anything. They're just trying to dominate their way in their particular area of interest to make money and to take care of their own petty needs. So this is certainly something that everybody should check out. Now, this film is available on Blu-ray. I recently purchased it a couple of months ago. So you can certainly get it on Blu-ray and enjoy the film in a high quality. And certainly, as I said, it's a fun film, but there are some excellent special effects with bringing in this kind of higher ability energies and powers. You could call this chi type energies. And the fight scenes are pretty good as well. So this just isn't just a little comic picture. And this is where everybody gets lost. There's a lot of comic lines in it. There's a lot of things you hear about. It's a very cute, well-written film, but there's obviously a lot of thought that goes behind this. It was made in 1985 or 4. So we're still bridging kind of that out of the 70s, which still had a lot of philosophy based in it. And this was an outgrowth, I'm sure, of the Kung Fu TV series, which I believe ended in the late 70s. I'm not really sure. So it certainly is something that I think maybe a lot of people miss. And the young'ums out there, as I call them, probably have never heard of this. I always think that, 1984, that wasn't that long ago. But if you're 25, it's a long time ago. You're talking about, what is it, 35, 40 years ago? It's a long time. And a lot of these things tend to fall between the cracks, so to speak. And a lot of people don't know of these and don't look these things up, similar to some of the more classic movies out there, like the Chuck Norris movies I recently mentioned, Forced Vengeance, and The Octagon. These are films that maybe a lot of young people have never seen because it doesn't seem like people are hunting up old stuff like was in the case as I was a teen moving into my young adulthood after teenage, is that we were really looking at things going back to the 20s and 30s and 40s, even listening to a little bit of old radio. And we were looking at recent times, but everything was on TV, and you kept getting this repetition. That started to change, of course, with the new medias, and now people have so much to choose from that I think a lot of this gets lost. But it certainly shouldn't get lost, and this is one of those classics that's going to teach you a lot, especially my Gnostic students who are trying to evolve themselves to higher levels of empowerment and thinking, which is critical to get out of this sewer hell that we live in. So this certainly is one of those, and I'm a big believer in learning in fun, interesting ways instead of reading some gobbledygook book. And one way to learn a lot is if you can listen to a very profound song or songs, as this movie has. So it's a great way of learning. It's all in there. Sometimes I play this song over and over again for 15 or 20 minutes. This is something you can do as well. It's a great songs. They have great beats, and all the information is in there. There's no reading. There's not much concentration. Just let the energy flow in you. Listen to the meanings of this. And it really explains the path of life in general. And I'm always shocked when I find this. I'm shocked when I find something so profound stuck in something so profane as a comedy little movie. But that's how higher energies work throughout society, as it did with the Matrix, bringing people this kind of profound yet flawed philosophy through these very action-packed movies that were done extremely well. It's hard to go through the Matrix and not be impressed by the visual fight scenes, and as such, you take in the philosophy whether you like it or not. So it's very exciting to find little gems like that, and I will be bringing this up. So this is one of my top 5 Gnostic learning movies that I highly recommend, which is fun, interesting, and has something you can take away from you. And of course, there's many other ones. You can look throughout my channel and you'll find the other movies I recommend, and I will be continuing to do that. There's a lot of very rare classic films that I recommend on my channel here that people should check out. Some very interesting movies, and of course we always love to experience things through movies in general. It's easy, it's profound, especially if you're looking at a decent screen and not on a postage stamp of your phone. I hope everybody has decent TVs and systems so they can watch movies on large screens, etc. These are very important. If you're lucky enough to see it on a giant screen, it's even more impressive to do. But there are a lot of these movies, and I have listed some of them already. Check these out, and of course watch for my new upcoming information on even more and more profound and important movies that very few people know about. Until next time.